Hey guys, it's Dr. Mannie, and this question comes up a lot, couple times a week, minimum. Question is like, if I start off at 30 bucks a day, how many calls will that equate to? Or another variation of it is like, how much do I have to spend? Is 20 bucks a day sufficient, right? Is 30 bucks, is 50 bucks? Like, what is that gonna get me? Okay, so it's not an exact science, but let me just hopefully provide some clarity. And I'm gonna take this video, and every time that question comes in, boom. So I'm gonna repurpose and repackage this video for future use. But the more money you put into the machine, the more eyeballs you get. So the more attention you're gonna get. Remember, in today's currency, it's attention. You have to have eyeballs on your operation. You can't just have a funnel, weight loss or gut, and expect people to show up. It doesn't work that. You have to direct traffic towards it, either through organic methods, post and post and post and videos, go live, go live, go live, or you can buy back your time in the form of ad spend. Okay, that's what I do. I just say, hey, Zuckerberg, here's $100, give me some eyeballs on this particular funnel on this website. And as long as I can put an X and flip it into something much more substantial, that is the game that I play. So 30 bucks a day. Here's what I'll tell you. The pixel has to get seasoned. And so okay, I'm gonna back up because I'm gonna get a little bit geeky on you, and I apologize, but your pixel slash data set, that's that little piece of code that is gonna be extrapolated across your entire funnel site. So you have to have that installed correctly, properly on your site. And so early on, it might be kind of slow. So here's what it's gonna look like. Early on, like if you have a brand new pixel that's got no data behind it, like no conversions, no sales, no traffic, nothing, it's gonna be a little bit slow. So early on, I say, let's do some targeting so that we can give it some help. So there's a bunch of weight loss interest still there. There's still a few diabetes ones. So there's interest there. And I look at the interest targeting as like training wheels, right? It's taking your pixel, this specific code, and say, hey, let's gear it towards this specific audience, okay? But now once we get more conversions into it, Facebook recommends somewhere between 50 and 60, 50 and 70, somewhere in there. Once we get some conversions, opt-ins, booked calls, scheduled appointments, whatever that objective is, once we get that data, it starts to exponentially like snowball up. So this person books a call, okay? Because we have pixels installed, it sends that data back to Facebook and says, hey, this person, Mary Jones, just booked a discovery call. Facebook knows everything about everybody. They know who's booking calls, who's scheduling appointments, who's buying things, who's commenting, liking, sharing, all that kind of stuff. So they know that. And so they take that piece of data and say, okay, who's very similar to Mary Jones, who's most likely to take a similar action? Then you'll get conversion number 2. Then you get conversion number 3. And then eventually this thing starts to take off. But it could take a while. So again, if you have a brand new pixel that's got nothing behind it, give it some time. At least 7 days, right, of learning, right? But then once you get once you get conversions, let's say you get 70 conversions, then what you can do is take the training wheels off. Okay, then you can say, hey, we're not doing any targeting because your pixel, that data set has been seasoned. It has been it's gone through all the learning phases, and now it knows exactly who to go after. So I recommend niche specific pixels, niche specific data sets, so that we're not muddying the waters, we're not cross-contaminating. So like if you're running weight loss, for example, here's weight loss. You want a different data set for gut, most likely, because we don't want to have a bunch of weight loss stuff and then all of a sudden we get a bunch of weight loss conversions and data coming in, and then okay, let's flip it to ADHD or diabetes and something else. And all these weight loss things start seeing diabetes ads. We're like, okay, it's a little bit different. Okay, what's going on here? So I recommend keeping things clean. Basically a niche specific funnel, niche specific data set or pixel, niche specific calendar. Just keep it clean and congruent from top to bottom. So, sometimes I get aggressive. Sometimes I'll start at 150 bucks a day. Sometimes I'll do 100 bucks a day. It depends. The faster you go, the more money you put into it, it equals more attention. But I don't have a crystal ball and says, hey, for every $27.32 you spend, you're going to get a call. It doesn't work like that. It might start slow if you're starting from scratch. But as that thing learns and gets seasoned up, then it's going to exponentially snowball up. A couple of years ago, I was averaging 110 discovery calls a month. That's how I was able to put $1 million through one funnel. But that pixel got seasoned. Like I could just like throw it an ad and it's like, okay, whoever needs to see it, they just start. I had to pause my ads because people were booked out a couple weeks. I'd call them and like, who the heck are you? I don't even remember. So you don't want to be booked out too far unless you want to hire a team. Right? There is that scenario where you get too booked out, in which case, hey, let's hire a team of health coaches, whatever, right? Who want to take these discovery calls for you. Not something I teach, not something I do. I don't want that stress. I take the calls myself, but if I have to pause it, I pause it. Or just kind of back off, scale on the ads. But anyway, I'll let you go. Hopefully this makes sense. Trying to think if there's anything I can recommend. $10 a day, yes, it is a starting point, right? It's not going to move the needle very fast. It's a game of speed. The more money you put into it, the more money you'll get out of it. Okay, so just keep that in mind, but it is a starting point. So if funds are tight, $10 is better than nothing. $20 is better than $10. It is what it is. And like I said, the more you can put into it, the more you'll get out of it. The faster that pixel is going to get seasoned and learn and get better. But it's not an exact science. So just keep that in mind. So hopefully I feel like this was not very helpful, but just keep in mind that you have to think long term. You have to play the long game. I'm not a get rich quick scheme by any stretch. I have shortcuts. I'll throw them in the link below. I'll throw a link to our software. I'll throw a link to my Inner Circle stuff if you want to take a peek. But my Inner Circle is all of my over-the-shoulder ads, like A to Z walkthroughs, start to finish, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Google, YouTube. It's the big five, and it's traffic, right? Traffic and conversions. We have to master both, right? We can't have one without the other. And just to piggyback on the video I did I think last week, that if you're struggling to scale up, your biggest expense is not knowing how to do this, right? It's not your taxes, it's not your payroll and your rent and all that kind of stuff. Your biggest expense and liability is not knowing how to get in the weeds and how to take your operation from 10K a month to 30K a month, how to go from 20K to 50K. That difference, that is your biggest liability. That is your biggest expense. So if you want help taking your practice from where you're at to where you want to be, stuff in the description and we can talk about it. So, all right, thanks for watching. As always, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, because I make these videos every single week. See you next time.